A lot of people assume that I grew up in New York City. Truth is, I moved there as an adult. Mid-state and upstate New York are my origination points. So, having the opportunity to come to Cayuga County, specifically Auburn, New York, felt a bit like coming home. The snow, the small city vibe, and the tight-knit community are reminiscent of some of my favorite parts of being raised upstate. When visiting Auburn, New York, you'll most likely be introduced to Arthur's work before you ever meet him. From the Auburn City mural that I had a clear eye shot from my hotel window, to the famous Harriet Tubman mural downtown that he's most known for.
I created that over the course of a year. So it was a painstaking process. Where I worked, they had these beautiful tapestries there. And I kind of was influenced by these tapestries where they would tell life stories in one picture.
What do you think the role of art and the artist is to you?
I think of art as a teaching tool. So this is a tool we can use to teach people about what's valuable and also help other people feel seen. And it makes them proud of the place where they're from. And it makes them feel like they really belong in that place.
Michele Jones Galvin is Harriet Tubman's great-great-great-grandniece. She's also the co-author, along with her late mother Joyce, of the book Beyond the Underground, Aunt Harriet, Moses of Her People. Honored isn't even the word to describe how I feel sitting down with her today. Through your family story and also through the work that you did with your book, Beyond the Underground, what is one thing that you feel like the public doesn't really know about your aunt that you wish they knew?
One, service to others. I mean, she lived that. She breathed that. The other thing is compassion. Most people don't really realize that compassion actually has two parts to it. Yes, it's being able to feel the pain, the misery, the hurt of another person. But the second part is you take action to eliminate that.
You know those moments in life when you meet someone who loves the work that they do? That's Reverend Paul Carter to me. Multiple times a week, he hosts a fact-packed and animated presentation of the life of Harriet Tubman, while overlooking the grounds that includes her former home and the home for the elderly that she both built and resided in for a time.
Well, you know, Harriet's story is so big and so vast that it's hard to squeeze it into just a few minutes, but she was very well known in this area.
I thought I knew about Harriet Tubman until I met Reverend Paul. I didn't know about her head injury as a child, which to me, I believe made Harriet a bit of a savant. I wasn't fully aware of her time spent in the Army as everything from a nurse to a spy.
She was the only woman to ever lead troops into battle during the Civil War. Also, it's been noted that of the men who served with her on the raids she led, none of her men were killed on any of the missions she led them on.
Then there was the home for the elderly. On the same property, this house was a care center, free of charge, that she built for the aging community. She too spent time there in her later years before passing away. Owned and run by Melody Smith Johnson, Melody's Place is a co-working and event space in the Auburn community. Upon entering, you'll notice her wall of Black women-owned businesses, as well as her sign that you cannot miss, letting you know that you're right where you belong. True to its form, tonight we're here at Melody's Place for a community dinner. They curated an invite list that included local business owners, artists, politicians, and descendants of Harriet Tubman. Honestly, regardless of who they are, tonight they all feel like family. There's something underneath this small city of Auburn, something unique with deep and wide roots. I think it's how Harriet's legacy lives under the feet of its community every single day. It's also why I'll be coming back. It makes sense that my last stop during my visit to Auburn is to go visit Harriet Tubman's gravesite. To be honored enough to stand at the foot of her grave, it's this moment that humanized her for me. All I could think about looking at her tombstone was how Harriet and so many of our historical figures like her were just people. People who had to make extraordinary decisions while here because of the time period and life circumstances they were born into. I cried, I thanked her, I asked for strength, and hoped that she was proud of the work being done to keep her name alive.